This is vegan bacon. Almost a year ago, Hooray Foods, who made probably one of the best vegan bacons that you could buy, went out of business. It was a sad day. But being an incredibly cool company, they actually released their recipe. They posted it right on Instagram, which most companies don't do that. They go out of business and your product is gone for good. I love that they did that. So today, I'm finally getting around to making it. Now, I've made a lot of bacons, and I've made a lot of them using starch. One of the original bacons that I made was rice paper bacon. And essentially, the Hooray Foods is making kind of like a rice paper. It's using rice flour. It's similar, but not the same, because they're getting the flavor into the actual rice flour. Now, I've made something similar to that with wheat starch bacon. Almost the exact same process in a very, very similar recipe. It's actually really similar to the way that I make my vegan pepperoni, which, if you haven't tried that yet, that is really good too. It's one of my favorite pepperonis. I'm pretty sure that vegan pepperoni recipe is in my book. But anyways, I already get this process, I already understand it, it's really simple, so there's not a whole lot of testing involved here. I'm actually gonna tweak their recipe just a little bit because there's a few things that I wanted to add to just kind of like up the flavor a bit, so I'll tell you what I'm adding. First, I'm gonna start off with 2 bowls. I'm gonna add a half of a cup of rice flour to each, half cup tapioca starch in each one, and a half cup of coconut oil, melted coconut oil. Now we're just gonna whisk these together to make kind of like a paste. Now we just need 2 cups. These are gonna be for your flavoring. And we're gonna do 2 different sides. It's like 2 different colors here. One is going to have 3/4 of a cup of hot water, and the other is going to use 3/4 of a cup of beet juice, again, using the same brands that they recommended. Toss this into the microwave. Clean up the beet juice spill so I don't stain my cutting board. Do you know that beet juice is actually good to like lower your blood pressure and also helps maintain like good cholesterol levels and also helps people with like maintaining weight levels? It's really cool. Beet juice is really good. Okay, that got hotter than I expected it to. Okay, ooh. Now they use like an umami powder. I'm actually just using mushroom seasoning, and they did a tablespoon in each one. Now it says a tablespoon of liquid smoke in each one, but I just have to double check that because that seems like a lot. 1 tablespoon liquid smoke. You know what? I'm not doing that. I'm gonna do a half of a tablespoon, because even a half of a tablespoon is smoky dokey. I mean, like that is like super smoky. Again, I'm not making this to test their bacon. I've had their bacon, it's good. I'm making this just for my own fun today. We also need a tablespoon of maple syrup. Now, like I said, I'm gonna add a few things. I've always put a little shake of garlic powder in my vegan bacon. I think that makes a difference. Little smoked paprika, maybe 1/8 of a teaspoon in each one. Now on theirs, they did about a teaspoon of salt, and they didn't have any black pepper, but I am going to add black pepper. So just a few minor tweaks. That's really all it is. A little stir. Now, we just need to bring back our flours. I'm gonna add our red side into the clear, just so you can see how red that comes out. It's crazy how red it comes out. We'll pour the brown mixture into the white. Now, it's probably gonna come out pretty pale, I'm hoping. Now, I'm gonna preheat my oven for about 350 degrees, which is gonna take about 10 minutes. That's plenty of time for today's sponsor. Did you know that your temperature at night can have one of the greatest impacts on your sleep quality? If you wake up too hot or too cold, I highly recommend you check out Miracle Made's bed sheets, inspired by NASA. Miracle Made uses silver-infused fabrics that are thermoregulating, so you can sleep at the perfect temperature all night long, every night. And because these sheets are infused with silver, that prevents up to 99.7% of bacterial growth, leaving them to stay cleaner and fresher 3 times longer than any other sheet, which is better for your skin. Bacteria can clog your pores, causing breakouts and acne. I mean, after sleeping on these, I am done sleeping on bacteria sheets. And I'll tell you, we've been sleeping using Miracle Made's bed sheets for a few weeks now, and we love them. They are luxuriously comfortable. You get the comfort that's actually nicer than what's used in 5-star hotels without that high price tag of other luxury sheet brands. So gang, go to trymiracle.com/Saucestache to try Miracle Made sheets today. And whether you're buying them for yourself or as a gift for a loved one, if you order today, you could save over 40%. And if you use my code Saucestache at checkout, you'll get 3 free towels and save an extra 20%. Miracle is so confident in their product, it's backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you aren't 100% satisfied, you'll get a full refund. So upgrade your sleep with Miracle Made. Go to trymiracle.com/Saucestache and use code Saucestache to claim your free 3-piece towel set and save over 40% off. Again, that's trymiracle.com/Saucestache to treat yourself. Thank you, Miracle Made, for sponsoring today's video and for the great nights of sleep. I love these sheets. Okay, so we're back. So I'm gonna pour the red mixture into a squeeze bottle. We're gonna fill up the whole squeeze bottle. Boom. Oh, too much. Still gonna make a mess. This is exciting. I've wanted to make this one for a while. Now, I'm just going to use some of that coconut oil, grease up a baking sheet. Now, they used a half of a sheet pan. I'm just gonna use a whole sheet pan. And then we're going to take about 2 cups of the mixture. They did a cup onto a half, so that's why I'm doing 2. I'm just kind of evenly spread this around. Pretty stoked about that. They did, I think it was 11 evenly spaced lines, so I don't know if I should do 22. Let's, 1, 2. My bacon's gonna look a little different than theirs, and that's okay. We're just gonna add some dots. Walker's gonna bark because we just got a delivery. Then I'm just gonna use a butter knife to kind of pull through the dots, which creates the marbling effect, which I will say, they really nailed that when it comes to like the marbling. I mean, the look of that is pretty cool. Like pretty friggin' cool. Okay, so now I'm just gonna toss this into the oven for 5 to 7 minutes until the sheet is bubbling. Okay, I think this looks pretty good. I'm pretty proud of the way that came out. It's not 100% like their bacon, but you know what? I mean, I think it's gonna be pretty good. I do think this middle portion is probably gonna be a tad thick, but that's okay. It does smell like bacon. It is really crazy. We're just going to slice this down the middle. Seems to be slicing pretty good. Ooh, the middle might not be, but. And then we're just gonna slice these into, 11, well, I don't know how many slices of bacon here. I must wish I had like a pizza slicer, but boom, that is our first slice. Pretty stoked about that. So yeah, that fat is still on there. All of that like coconut oil fat, it's still there. Now what they did was they wrapped it in parchment paper. I'm gonna do the same thing and froze it. Okay, so I'm gonna toss these in the freezer. I want these frozen before I cook them. That way that coconut oil can solidify. And then we're gonna cook these up and see what Monica has to say.
Okay, so these have been frozen. You can see the coconut oil's thickened up. They're pretty firm now at this point. So I'm just gonna toss a pan on the stove, on the heat, get it nice and hot, and toss these in the pan. And they start to sizzle up pretty quickly, and you can actually kind of hear these are sizzling. So I'm just gonna continually turn these over until they get like a nice crisp. I might have went a little too far just like I normally do, but I will say the kitchen smells like bacon. It is wild the smell that is coming from these. So I'm gonna cook these up, toss them onto a wire rack to crisp up, and now let's see what Monica has to say.
Here we go, baby. What do you think? What do you notice anything?
I mean, is it supposed to be? It's bacony.
Doesn't it smell like bacon?
Yeah,
I mean, it really does.
It also looks like it.
I know it does. It really does. Okay, so let's start with the thinner pieces at the end, and they get thicker as they go. So, boom. Cheers.
I like this.
I know, me too. That's really good.
Very good. Tastes like bacon. It's a little bready,
Yeah, it is a little bready.
but I like it still.
Good crunch, good crisp. I wonder where the bready
Good
is.
taste.
I think if you get down towards the end, it's not as bready.
Okay. Like I should eat on this side.
Well, just like the thinner portions of it. So, I mean, if it was in something though, there is kind of like the chewy side. It doesn't have any of like the starch stickiness that you would normally get.
I did just get a chewy bite.
Yeah, there is like some chewiness to it. That's really good. And there is some crisp, maybe like more crisp than what you would normally want. But if this was like on its own, it's really good.
Yeah.
I will say the extra liquid smoke probably would have been fine. I think it could have used maybe a little bit more liquid smoke. So that was my bad saying to limit it. But let's go up with like a thicker, that one's about the same thickness. Grab like that one there. I just want to see.
Cheers.
Cheers. I'm gonna go a little thicker. There we go. Okay. Cheers.
I like this better.
I know, me too.
This is definitely more bacony.
Yeah.
Because it's crisp, but it has a little bit of that like fatty softness feel.
Yep, exactly.
It's like
Man, that is good.
chewy, bouncy. It's really good.
So the thicker stuff is what you want to go with. I was thinking it was gonna be the thinner, but really, honestly,
The
thicker stuff
Yeah.
is much better.
I love this. It's a great
Me
snack.
too. Yeah, this is awesome. I'm all about this. We're gonna finish all of these.
Yeah.
Where would you put this?
God, there's so many, but I'd put this up there, like an 8. I really like this one. I might even give it a 9.
Yeah, I'm right with you. I'm gonna do like a 9. It's gonna be near the daikon bacon, above the broccoli bacon. For me, for sure, it's above rice paper bacon. I've never been a rice paper bacon fan.
I like the rice paper
I
bacon,
know.
but it's been so long since I've had it, I need to try it again to compare it. correctly.
But like this in a sandwich or in a burger or something like that
Yeah.
would be excellent.
Or on a salad.
Oh man. Yeah, this is super good. I'm happy about it. This isn't 100% a recreation of the Hooray Foods bacon, but it's pretty dang close.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, and I like my little additions. There we go.
Yay.
Yeah.
Bacon.
Yeah, that was
Bacon.
easy.
Bacon.
It was an easy test.